Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Double Meal Dad. Thanks for joining us in the DMD kitchens. We really appreciate all of your support, all of the great comments that everybody's been giving us, and all the encouragement. So keep those comments coming, keep those suggestions coming, and I look forward to cooking with you all someday. So today is going to be steak and goulash. If you remember our last episode, we talked about how to shop, and again, remember the concept of the Double Meal Dad. How can we stretch our dollar farther by buying things that are on sale and then getting 2 meals in one, effectively. So last time we went to the grocery store, if you remember, ribeyes were on sale. I was going to buy a couple ribeyes. Well, my goodness, the ribeyes at HEB, this is £1 3/4 for the first ribeye I bought, and £1 2/3 for the other ribeye. So really good sized ribeyes. And Mama Rose and I won't be able to eat one whole one by ourselves. So I'm going to cook up a steak for each of us. A steak for us to share. And we're going to go ahead and cut that in half, and we're going to split it. And then I'm going to make some mashed cauliflower. So I'll give you my recipe for mashed cauliflower. And I'm going to roast up some red peppers and some green peppers, just so we have a little bit of pepper on the side to have with our steak. And that's going to be meal number 1. And then I'm going to use the leftovers, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this video in 2 parts. So part 1 will just be, how to make the steak, and for some of you I know that's going to be a little basic, but I know there's some folks out there that don't know, some of the techniques to grilling a steak and how they can ensure that they got rare or medium or a well done steak. So I'm going to show you a little trick for doing that, and we're actually going to be grilling outside today, so you're going to be able to enjoy some of this Texas heat with me. So stick with me, come on back, and we'll get started on the steak. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Double Meal Dad. Okay, I've got the steaks all out of the package. Now, I've read a recent study that said, some people are suggesting you shouldn't wash your meat. What happens is that if you rinse it underneath the counter, people have a tendency to splash, and you have a tendency to push things around or push some of the bacteria around. So I'm going to use an old trick that I learned from the Frugal Gourmet, the Galloping Gourmet back in the 1960s and 70s. I'm dating myself again, but just get a piece of, as he used to call it, towel paper. Get a piece of paper towel and just kind of go ahead and blot your meat, and you can get all of that juice and everything off of there. And so that's just an old trick that the Galloping Gourmet used to do back a long time ago. And then I'm just going to use, you've heard me mention this before, I'm just going to use some Weber Grind and Grill Chicago Steak Seasoning. This is one of my favorite rubs, real easy to use. You're just going to grind this. And remember, this is a rub, so don't be afraid to go ahead and pat that in there and rub that all up. Now just be careful if your hands get a little sticky or a little messy. Go ahead and, rinse them off, but also rinse that off. We don't want any bacteria or anything to, get in our cupboards. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this all nice and rubbed up. Put a bunch of seasoning on top of there. And once that's all done, I'm just going to go ahead and set that aside. Now, one thing I did want to share with you is that yesterday was Monday, so one of the other things I did do is the Double Meal Dad did follow his own advice. I went and picked up my newly sharpened knives. So look at how nice they do this. They go ahead and they sharpen the knife for you, and then they put this, I don't know if you can see this, but they've got a protective wax on there, so that just peels right off, and then you're good to go. That's a sharp knife right there. So I'm going to use this because we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this aside, give this a quick rinse. And we're going to go ahead and get our cauliflower mashed potato going. So this is, the same way you would make any one of your mashed potatoes. You're going to go ahead, and remember we showed you the trick about mashed potatoes, how you can cut them. Oh my gosh, this is going through here like butter. I'm just going to cut the bottom of this cauliflower off of here and go ahead and peel these green pieces out. Now, if you're good with a knife, one of the things that you can do, as opposed to sitting here and peeling it, is just kind of cut that little root out of there, because this is going to be a little tough, so we don't really want the root as a part of that. Just be careful you don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want anybody to call me up and say, Double Meal Dad, I hurt myself cutting up the cauliflower, so just please be careful out there. Go ahead and I'm going to pull all these flowerets off of here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut right into here. That'll take that root off the bottom. And really what we want is the florets off of here, or the flowerets, depending on how you pronounce it. We want to try to avoid any of this green stuff. That's going to be a little bitter. So we're going to try to avoid all that. And there we go. We've got it all done. Now, the rest of this is easy. Just like you make regular mashed potatoes, we're going to go ahead and cover this with some water and set it to boil. And then I'll clean up the kitchen and we'll go ahead and get those steaks started. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. Hey y'all, welcome to the Double Meal Grill. You're getting to see the Double Meal Dad out at the grill. So I got this thing cranked all the way up. I got the heat as hot as I can get it. If you're using a charcoal grill, if you prefer the charcoal grill, just as easy. Just get those coals nice and hot. As soon as they get hot, go ahead and get your peppers on it. Don't be afraid to char them a little bit. That's fine. Then all I'm doing is I'm putting them in a big bowl like this. And I happen to be fortunate with the fact that I have a bowl that has a cover. So I'm just going to go ahead, and the key is we want these peppers to steam. So I'm going to go ahead and get that airtight cover on there. Set that aside for now. Now, good, we got that on there. Now, again, with a steak, we want it hot, hot, hot to start, and then really cool. So I got this really hot. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down. And now I'm going to sear that steak. So this is really hot. I think it was 700 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and close that off. Now I've got a burner over here that I don't need anymore. I'm going to shut that off. So I've just got 3 burners, and I've got those on low. Now I'm going to go ahead and wash this plate. Give that about 4 to 5 minutes. I just want it to sear. And now that I've got that heat, remember that's really thick. So we want to get a nice sear on there. Then we're going to go ahead and flip it, and then we're going to let it get to the temperature we want. And here's the trick. With the temperature, you're going to use your hand, and you're going to use it in 3 different positions. So if you want it rare, leave your hand open, nice and soft. Push that little pad right between your thumb and your forefinger, and that's what your steak should feel like. So we're going to push down on our steak, and if it feels like that, that's rare. If we want it medium, we're going to make a circle like this, and we're going to go ahead and push, and it's going to be a little bit firmer. And then if you like your steaks well done, which we never recommend, we're going to go ahead and close that up to a fist, and you go ahead, and then that's what your steak should feel like in order. So rare, medium, well. Okay? Join me back inside. We'll rinse these off. I'm going to wait a couple minutes. We'll flip these. I've got the broccoli going, and we'll put it all together. See you in a couple minutes. Okay, y'all. We're back inside. We got those peppers off, and look, we just had them in there for maybe 3-4 minutes. And can you see how they've kind of sweated down, and they've gotten, you know, nice and soft and very supple for cutting up. We also opened up a bottle of McManus Petite Syrah, which doesn't hurt. So remember, I talked about this in an earlier episode. Now I showed you how to do it. Just get that flame hot. If you don't have a grill, maybe you live in an apartment or a city or something like that, you can do it right on your burner here. Just go ahead and get your burner fired up hot, put it right on the burner. You just want to make sure you don't go too long so that juice doesn't fall onto your stove, so you have to clean it. Try to keep away from doing a lot of extra cleaning. Alright, now we're going to pull this char, or the skin should just pull right off. Now, if they're still hot, we don't want you to burn yourself. Just go ahead and run a little cold water. That's all you got to do. Run a little cold water. Go ahead and run the pepper right underneath that cold water. And all of that skin will come right off. If you got time and you can let it sit a little bit longer, be careful too, because there's juice inside of here, so don't burn your fingers. Okay? Double Meal Dad's got, I used to work in a restaurant a long time ago, and so my hands are a little bit used to this hotter temperature. I don't want anybody to get burned out there, so take your time with this. And look at that. We're going to peel that right off. And look at how beautiful. And you know what? You don't even need a knife if you don't want a knife at this point. You can just pull that meat right away from the seeds and from the root. And And now you've got some beautiful, beautiful green pepper and red pepper that you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cleaned up. When we get back, we're going to go ahead and finish up the cauliflower. Cauliflower's been going for about 20 minutes now. It's going to take about 25 minutes. You know, we want it to get nice and soft. We'll mash that up. I flipped our steaks one time already. They're getting to that right temperature. I'm going to go ahead and test the temperature on them. So I got medium. I'm going to go to a rare, and then we're going to be good to go. All right? We'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, welcome back. All right, I just pulled the steaks off. So remember, I like it rare, so I'm going to push right there. And I'm going to, oh, that's perfect. Maybe just a little bit more. I could have gone medium rare if that's what you want. What you want to do now is we want to let this rest. So we got to give it about 5 minutes at least of rest time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it. And remember, it's going to continue to cook. So if you're a few, degrees short, you're going to be fine. Okay? I got that. I'm going to go ahead and set it aside. That's good to go. While that's resting and we're getting ready to serve it up, we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our preparation. So I went ahead and I sliced up those peppers, a little bit of red pepper, a little bit of green pepper, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil right on top of that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that on there and just let it kind of marinate a little bit. A little bit of black pepper. Use, whatever else you want seasoning-wise. A little cayenne pepper is always good. Good for your digestive system as well, and for your probiotics for digestion, so helps you speed up your metabolism. Now, remember we talked about roasted red peppers. We showed you how to do it now. And you go into a fancy restaurant and they say, that's a roasted aioli sauce. Very easy to make. Take those green peppers, put them in a blender. Save the juice you got out of there. Put a couple, 3 cloves of garlic in there, a little bit of black pepper. Hit the blender. That will emulsify, it'll break down, add a little olive oil. You got yourself a roasted aioli sauce. Do it with the red peppers, it's beautiful. You can take some vegetables and you go ahead and use that and dip it right in there. So easy to do. Now we'll go ahead and we'll get to our cauliflower. So there you see I've got my cauliflower. I've got it all set up in the pot, and just like a mashed potato, it's that easy. It mashes right down like a mashed potato. Now, we're going to put a little bit of flavoring in here. If you use milk in your mashed potatoes, go ahead and use milk in your cauliflower. It's not a big deal. I'm going to use a little bit of sour cream, fat-free. I got the fat-free stuff, so, Mama Rose doesn't yell at me for getting too chunky over there. I got that all set up. Go ahead and put that in there and just kind of mix it through. And I just put about 3 tablespoons in there of that. Again, it's going to depend on how much cauliflower you have. So I just had 1 head, and it's 3 tablespoons of sour cream to 1 head of the cauliflower. And I got some jalapeno jack cheese. So I took the fat out with the sour cream, but I put it back in with the jalapeno jack. But that's all right. I'm going to put, well, it's about a 6-ounce bag, so I'm going to put, or an 8-ounce bag, I'm going to put about half of that in there, so about 4 ounces in there. I'm going to go ahead and let that all melt through. And we got, voila, we got mashed cauliflower, so we took a little bit of the starch out. We got a really nice flavor there. We're going to go ahead and put a little black pepper in there, a little black pepper, and a little bit of salt, just a little bit. Okay, and we're all set, we're all done. So that's it, folks. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and serve this up for you in a second. Get my knife out, and we'll get that steak. We'll take a look at it. So give me a few minutes to come on back, and we'll get set up, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So see you in another minute. Okay, y'all, welcome back to the Double Meal Dad Kitchen. So our cheese has had a little bit of a chance to melt in here. I'm going to go ahead and scoop this up. A lot of times, I like to plate my food. I know a lot of times, when we serve dinner for our family, we like to do it family style, because that's the way a lot of us grew up. Mom put down the meat and the potatoes and the vegetables, and everybody passed around. But you know what? Every once in a while, plate the food for your family. The presentation is so nice. Oh, look at this, perfectly medium rare right there. I mean, it came out great. We'll go ahead and just put that on the side there. Look, you know, when you go to a fancy restaurant, they don't do anything different except what we're doing right here. We're going to go ahead and just put a couple of those roasted peppers right on there. Just kind of a little salad. Make yourself up a little salad and get one of these ones right here. And there you go. I mean, nice presentation. You bring it to the table. I'm going to be a little bit of uncouth here by using my big butcher's knife to cut that up. But my gosh, you can't go wrong with the ribeye. I mean, it's just so tender, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, and perfectly cooked. Just a little bit of seasoning on there. Delicious. Let me try a little bit of these cauliflowers. Really, really good. Oh, so good. Hey, listen, I hope that as basic as we kept this, I hope you got a few ideas out of here. The roasted red peppers, the mashed cauliflower. You know, try to use cauliflower instead of potato. It's, you know, it's a little bit fun. Switch it up. Your family will love it. My grandkids love this. The steak, easy to make. Mama Rose and I are going to go have dinner tonight. And then, look, it was about 40 minutes. So, yeah, long day. You got home from work, but, you know, you got home at 6:15, and by 7:05, everybody's sitting down to eat. Still got time to get the kids to get their homework done. And, you know, then we've got our other steak here. This is going to be 10 to 15 minutes to put it together, and we got our full meal ready for us for our second meal. So come back for part 2. We'll go ahead and we'll show you part 2. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I hope you have a great week, and keep those comments coming. And I'll see you the next time on the Double Meal Dad Kitchen. Take care, y'all.